This is episode number 322 of the InnerFight podcast with Shadi Joweihan. Welcome back to another edition of the InnerFight podcast, brought to you by Smith Street Paleo. As always, hop over to iTunes, rate and review the podcast, and we will send you a bag of Smith Street Paleo goodies. No matter where you are in the world, thanks for tuning in. Let's jump into today's show. Here we go, back with another show, Andre. Now, mate, if I told you tomorrow someone is going to cut you open in the middle of your body and play with your heart, how would you feel?
Just great.
Just great.
It sounds like the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Shadi, old friend, heart surgery, multiple heart surgery survivor, mate. Thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Thanks once again. It's good to be back.
Mate, tell us, you did a talk for us almost 2 years ago, Inner Talks, about a small bit of your journey, and hopefully through this show we're going to get a little bit more of an insight. But you've had quite an interesting ride the last few years with that scene that I just painted to Andre. You're the best one to kick it off, mate. You were fit and healthy, and then what happened?
And I'm sure those people who missed out on the Inner Talk, it was basically a standard follow-up on a normal heart murmur that eventually moved towards heart leakage, so mitral valve prolapse. And then what was required is basically is emergency surgery, basically. Otherwise, the heart will fail eventually. Wow. So the ventricle was sending blood across the body that was deoxygenated. So I couldn't convert enough ATP, basically, into energy. And basically, I was asymptomatic, by the way, so I never knew about it.
Wow.
So 2 years later, after doing the first surgery, and we did that talk and went up for a checkup, and they said the first surgery failed, and this time we're going to go down your sternum. So throughout the process, I learned a lot, basically. I was so prepared for the second round. It's amazing if you learn from your experiences how you actually tackle them. Yeah. So just by that surgery thing, it taught me a lot in life, basically. Yeah. So the preparation was just totally extraordinary from the first time to the second time. Yes, it was more traumatic the second time, having your sternum, split open.
So casual, so casual.
Yeah, you just have to accept it what it is, and these are other things that you get to pick up as things in life. Yeah. You have to accept it. When you accept where you are, you actually can take different action.
Yeah, right.
As long as you keep rejecting where you are and saying, no, it's not possible, it cannot happen to me, this is not right, I've been fit, I'm good at what I do, I'm eating healthy, you're not going to overcome it. You're continuously, you're a victim, you're victimizing yourself. Yeah. No one else, it's no one else's fault.
Mate, let's just quickly dial back, because you made very light of your first surgery and everything that you did. You're full of energy now. You're full of energy then.
Sure.
Your company's called Hyper Ideas for a reason.
Exactly,
and you travel a lot. But then suddenly you're hit with something that, as you said, you're asymptomatic. You don't know that it's like, that must have really done something to you. Like, it must have just really hit you and woken you up in some strange way, no?
Definitely. And look, once again, I focus a lot on life, and because I know how fragile it is now. Yeah. So by things changing in a second, you do realize that, as you mentioned, how can it happen to me? So here I am, fit, traveling. I always knew I had a heart murmur, but I never expected the last checkup to say, listen, your heart could fail within 2 years. Even if you're sitting reading a book.
It's crazy.
It's nothing to do with what you do. And of course, people, family, friends, you do too much exercise, you're too silly. Everyone wants to give their own, two bobs. Yeah. But the reality is, there's many people, fit people out there, who actually could have a heart condition. And basically, I hope this is what we get out of this message today. No matter how fit you are, the fitter you are, there's more reason for you to go and get checked out.
Right.
The reality is, as my cardiologist said, who's been to Everest, we're not talking someone who's like just a doctor nerd behind a desk. He's someone who's into extreme. He says it's amazing how many athletes he sees. They push the limit, they push the envelope, and not because they push the envelope. You could be having something hereditary and you don't know. But because you're so fit, you do not know, or you could be asymptomatic. And you hear these stories, he was cycling and he dropped dead.
Yeah.
He was playing a game of football and he just had a heart attack. Well, he didn't just have a heart attack. He had a condition that he did not know about. So I recommend as we covered as well in men's health, the last issue, that you need to go out there. If you're under the age of 40, 30, no matter how young you are, just tick that box, get the AOK from the doctor, and then go smash it even more. This is my recommendation.
Shit, that's
I might be scaring few people out there, but that's the point.
But it's reality, isn't it? Because it happened to you, mate.
That's exactly what I want to do. Raise awareness to let people know, listen, it's not just about my journey. Learn from it.
Yeah.
So you did mention hyper ideas. We stimulate ideas in people's head.
Yeah.
And that's one actually approach. I want to use it for a good purpose.
Yeah.
You're a great athlete. We all know. Everyone knows you in Dubai. When was the last time you checked your heart?
Never.
What do you mean never? Oh, you're childish, mate. I always check mine. We have to check it.
You have
before,
to.
No,
Where?
mate, on a
How?
serious note. No, before you do... and you're definitely going to do one of these. Before you do, like, these ultras that I've been doing, you have to go and have... ECG.
Excellent.
And you have to have, like, you have to literally... This is the first one I did. They're like, you have to fill out this from the doctor, and you have
for
to
the
have
desert
this.
walk.
For the
Desert
first
crossing.
one in Oman, and then for MDS I had to have one as well. And you literally have to have everything done and signed off for part of their insurance to say that you're good and alive. But that was 2 years ago.
Excellent. It doesn't matter. 2 years ago, that's fine.
Is
you
it?
probably don't need to get checked out for another 10 years.
Especially here's my doctor, so you need to
so
go.
for our listeners, just go to a regular doctor, or you need to see
Regular
a specialist?
doctor. ECG can be done anywhere. That's all it takes. And usually heart murmurs could be picked up by a stethoscope, basically. He could listen to your heart. It's a whoosh sound. That it's not boop, boop. It's like, whoosh. It's got like a leak. That sounded good, yeah?
Yeah, that was very good.
So it's a whoosh. It's a whoosh sound, basically, and it means there's a slight leak. And you just keep your eye on it, And the way to describe it best for people to imagine it through the podcast, imagine a kite with different strings on it, cordies.
Yeah.
It actually holds everything below. If you have a detachment on one of the cords, you start getting a leak, and the valve does not shut properly.
So this is what was happening in
This
your
what was
in
happening.
your heart.
Not only did just imagine again a door slamming against its edge frame, closing properly. I started to lose the edge of the frame, so the doors were swinging a little bit back inward, letting that deoxygenated blood come back into the lungs.
Wow.
So what can be done there? They could. So I have an Edward ring, which is like it's called Edward ring. That sits on the valve placement on the outside that actually strengthen the valve. And then I had my cordies reattached inside the ventricle.
Wow. Holy shit.
So, again, I could make and it is a big deal. But once you know that it's a process you have to go through, if you can apply this kind of process in your business, in your life, I come back to the same thing, acceptance.
Yeah.
You accept where you are today. You will aim towards overcoming it. As long as you reject, oh my God, this happened to me, what? No.
Yeah.
And same with business.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not working, it's not moving forward, it's lacking that inspiration, whatever. As long as you're negative and you're knocking yourself down and looking for reasons outside, you're not going to overcome it. So.
It's having total ownership of yourself.
100%. Well, I mean, we blame, as humans, we tend to blame other factors that affect our life, whether it's health, whether it's business, whether it's relationship. We're always pointing fingers.
Why does this happen to me? I've always been good.
Yeah, karma and all the story. And, you just got to accept, as humans, we are who we create ourselves. So the mind and the power of the mind is basically what it's all about. Yeah, we're talking about heart surgeries and getting over it, but the reality is I only became stronger because the heart issue did occur in my life. It actually made me a stronger person. And Absolutely. They do say, only hurdles in your life will really specify who you are in life. It will define you.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, look, the bottom line is, I think I posted this once, at the end of the day, excuse the word, life will come and kick your ass.
Yeah.
That's reality.
Yeah.
If you are raised in a way where you're wrapped around cotton wool and life is going to be great, you just do great and life will be great. That's not how it works, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, right.
You could be rich, you could be fit, you could be an athlete, life will take its turn at each and every one of us listening to this podcast or who's not listening to the podcast. It's a fact of life.
Yeah.
Now, how you overcome it is where I wouldn't even call it a challenge. That's where the art is, in it. How you approach it. Detach yourself from the situation, take a step back, okay, here is where I am today.
Yeah.
What am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
I can sit there in a corner and whinge and be depressed and, oh, it's not working for me. Or I can say, okay, 1, 2, 3 can be applied, and we could move forward.
Absolutely.
If that plan doesn't work, we could go to the next step.
So you're sat there, mate. You're just about to go into surgery.
Okay, you want to know the details. I can tell you're going back to the detail.
Yeah, I want to know.
Round 1 or round 2?
Round 1.
Round 1,
I mean, if we have to do this in 2 parts, we'll do this in 2 parts.
Well,
but
I'll be very brief as well.
Round 1, mate, you're sat there, it's your heart. You're making so light of the situation.
Okay, I'll give you the real...
What's going through your mind?
I'll give you the dramatic part. When I went and did my ECG, and I was expecting to be told, see you later, Shadi, come back after 1 year.
Yes.
That was just before Christmas. I could see the face of the technician. She said, wait, I need to call the doctor in. The doctor came in. I knew immediately there's something wrong. You know, you could feel people's energy.
Yeah.
And he came in, he says, you know, I'm sorry to tell you, but I got to be honest with you. Unfortunately, by the way, I was on the treadmill doing the stress test. I'm thinking, I'm Superman. You know, nothing's going to knock me down alive. I'm sitting there getting checked out. And all of a sudden, he states, he says, come in the room and... mate, I'm sorry to say, you are now extreme leakage. There's extreme mitral valve prolapse. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, the way your heart is going now, it's working extra hard. Eventually, it will fail. The walls will thicken, the ventricle will thicken, and you will no longer get the energy. You'll either pass out. You could be just driving a car, and you could pass out.
Yeah.
And the reality is, I sat there, I'm not going to lie, do I cry? Do I what? And it knocked me.
Take the cap?
It flattened me. You got 2 years. And I said, oh, you know, can it be delayed? He said, it can be delayed. It could be delayed 3, 4 years. But we don't know how quickly it's deteriorating. From last year till this year, you totally changed. And you've got more detachment of your cords, you know, more of the parachute cords are snapping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I sat there and I thought, wow, it's the end of the world. I thought that's it. What else are you told? No more fitness, no more traveling. I'm thinking about the scar down my chest. Silly things. Now I look at it, silly things. But then I'm going, oh, my God, you know, we're working to stay fit. What am I going to do? All this silly stuff. Yeah. And then I was told, that's the way to go. 2 years, you make your choice. Sit there, think about it. What's there to think about? Yeah. There's no, we'll go for it. So it was planned. 3 months later, I'm down with Dr. Paul Jans, amazing surgeon. He was on National Geographic the other day. So being in good hands also something that does help. This is in Australia. Yeah. Went in. First time was so dramatic. Oh, my God. So dramatic, you know. Shadi's going for heart surgery, you know. Wow, big. And it is a big deal. But, you know, you feel it more dramatic. And all of a sudden... you go to sleep and you wake up and your dignity is gone. Catheter in the front, catheter in the back, tubes out of your chest, battery wires connected to the heart. You got central line coming into your heart. You're basically on a machine. Well, actually, I had to stay on the machine for a while until my lungs took over, and then I was basically...
So you have this machine breathing for you almost.
Exactly. As you come out, because your lungs are deflated.
Yeah.
So your lungs are deflated, your heart's been stopped for, first time I think it was clinically written on the paperwork, about 4.5 hours. So, yeah, I'm proud. So died twice.
Died twice.
Died twice. How many guys did you interview who died twice? So that's a reality. It's a fact. It's not a story. It's something what happens to everybody who undergoes. And that's where the risk is. The risk is not in the surgery itself. It's the complication that are attached to it. Yeah. So you wake up and first thing you say to yourself, oh, my God. I'm alive, number one, but two, I'm actually literally frozen sitting here. All I want to do in life is grab a coffee with my mates. The simplest thing.
The smallest
Then
thing.
you say, I want to be able to go to the toilet alone. And this is where this was the biggest learning chapter in my life. Yeah. Here we are challenging ourselves when we come to the gym. We're challenging ourselves in business. We're challenging others. This is our drive. This is what keeps us going. And then here you are, all you want to do is be able to get up and go to the toilet alone. Dignity.
The most basic things.
Basic things in life. Yeah. So went through the process and, then recovered and so forth. Surgery itself, I can't tell you much about it. No, I didn't go in a black tunnel. I didn't meet anyone on the other side. I wasn't returned. No angels, nothing. I do not remember anything. Knocked out, back
Really?
up on morphine.
But if your heart was, if you were essentially dead for 4.5 hours,
Yes.
how long was that surgery, mate?
Oh, the surgery was about 7.5.
Wow.
Yeah, the
So
majority.
this guy's just going to town on you for 7.5 hours trying to fix everything up.
Yeah, it's actually multiple people who work on you, and a lot of respect goes out to the anesthetist actually and perfusionist. So the main shot in there is the perfusionist. He's the guy who keeps you alive on a lung heart transplant machine.
Wow.
So it's him sitting there and literally no longer looking at your body because everything is being run through the heart-lung machine.
Yeah.
So this is the guy that goes number one. Of course, the surgeon, but he's the main guy. And anesthetist, it's an amazing team.
Yeah, right.
And hats go off from we totally go into hospitals and we underestimate the talent and the ability that these guys work with.
Yeah.
Of course, you come out and then you get a lot of issues related. Sometimes livers do not work, kidneys do not work. The most important thing is the lungs. So I had a pierced lung. One of the lungs actually, when it was deflated, through the surgery, it must have got nicked. This is in the, because you have your latissimus dorsi split open.
Yeah.
First one was actually not major, not through the sternum. They came from under the armpit. And for people to learn more about this, everyone thinks the heart on the left. We grow up thinking the heart is sitting fully on the left. It's actually sitting right central.
Right.
But some of the ventricle mostly sit on the left, so that's why we consider the heart on the left.
Yeah.
So they actually came in from the right-hand side
Right.
to operate on the mitral valve. So the heart gets stopped. You actually get injected in the heart, same as you would for death penalty, to get your heart fully stopped. Your heart get iced and cooled. Your body's cooled as well. And then they start working on it. So it's from the time they clip you, they call it a clip. They put the clips on there, and your basically your body's moved across to your body. Your heart and lungs and brain are being operated by the heart and lung transplant machine.
That is so
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So then you come around, and of course there's a lot of things related with coming around. The longer you're under, the more you will have issues with your eyesight, with your memory, etc. There's something called pump head. You should research that. Google it. It's a lot of fun. Pump head is actually where your red blood cells actually get crushed through the heart-lung machine as they go through the tubes. So if you can imagine a little UFO disc carrying red oxygenated blood, as it comes through the pipes and getting warmed up, some of them get smashed in the hose as they're coming back. So they don't carry much oxygen, and they are damaged. So as they come back through your body when you wake up, they could sit in the back of your optical nerve and your brain, and sometimes you're sitting there and you can't see anymore.
No way.
Literally, so I'm freaking.
Still.
No. This is no. Sorry, who's this? Where
am I?
So pump head. So it's all these aspects, and why am I telling this? Because he wants the
this is
big part of
interesting
it. What
stuff.
people want to know. To me, what I take away from all this is all these hurdles just make you stronger.
Yeah.
So second round, I knew I'm going to have pump head. I knew I'm going to have memory loss.
Yeah.
So especially, it's funny with memory loss, I started picking up when I got back home from the first surgery, like, hang on, I'm sure I spoke to Marcus. Did I speak to Marcus? I wasn't sure memory. So I started writing down what I did. So when the next day I wasn't... So memory is not clear. And it doesn't happen with everybody. It happens with few people. Yeah. Some cardiologists reject the thought of pump head. So some surgeon reject it. Cardiologists will agree it does exist, pump head. It's not a phenomenon. It's actually what you suffer from being on the heart-lung machine for so long.
Wow.
And, got back into training. First thing, came back to Dubai, picked up the phone. Hi, Marcus. I would like to, get fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, come and visit us. He had no mercy on me first round. I never forget it.
You told me not to treat you like a heart surgery patient.
Exactly, but maybe that was silly on my behalf to say.
It's halfway through the session, he went and put this thing on his
Oximeter.
Oximeter, am I okay? But, mate, one thing I want to sort of pick up on between these two surgeries is you came back from the first one and you sort of went all in on you weren't unfit before, but you're probably...
fitter.
You got fitter.
Definitely.
So how's that journey of getting fit and then going into and then finding out, you're having another surgery.
Amazing. It's like doing Everest twice. So getting fit, as you know very much, I get inspired by people who actually have a tangible proof in life on others. We can all quote things, we can all say stories, we can all go into Robin Williams and Deepak Chopra and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But that's re-quoting. What have we done to inspire others to stimulate? So I focused my, vision on people who actually have tangible change on other people's life. Yeah. Physical, you could measure it, you could see it. People like Marcus, for example, people out there who actually do create a difference. So I started following people who basically, let's say, have difficulties, no legs, who climbed Everest, for example. Yeah. They're people who actually stimulate you and inspire you. Yeah. They show you they can do it, There's a guy on a wheelchair doing 100 pull-ups. Yeah. What's your excuse in life? Yeah. Got a sore toe? Yeah. Seriously, get over it. Yeah. So I focused, and this is where I came back with this mental focus. That's what I'm going to do. Let people inspire me and go for it. Went hard. I never did CrossFit before. And I'm not a CrossFitter, by the way, sitting here wearing a CrossFit T-shirt.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I enjoy it. I think the volume that it brings out in an hour session or 30-minute session is amazing for the body, both mentally, functionally. I've always been an advocate for plyometric. Yeah. So I'm always, compound versus isolated. I believe it does more to your endurance, to your heart, and so forth. So I took that route, basically, and, just picked up. Coming out of surgery, I couldn't pick up a glass of water. I started squatting. I started, 400-pound deadlifts. Wow, doing great. Yeah. I thought, that's it. Sweet, you reach Everest, where else you want to go? It's fine. I go for my checkup. Whoops, the leak is there. So now, I'll tell you, the difference from being told the first round, you're going to have heart surgery, and the second time, yeah, okay. It was as simple as that.
Really?
Yes.
They knock you down once.
No,
you get up on the horse, and they take you down once again, and you think that's easy.
Well, we just spoke about this, for the last 20 minutes. What am I supposed to do about it? What can I do about it? Yeah. If I get angry or upset, who am I actually affecting? Yeah. Me, no one else. The surgery is going to take place whether I like it or not. Yeah. That's part of life I have to overcome. I know it sounds light, but everyone listening to this, yourself guys, my friends, anyone, you got to face it. Fear will eat you away. Fear will eat your dreams. Fear will eat your recovery. Fear will eat anything you can imagine. I know it's easy to be said just as a speech, but in reality, fear is just something you build in your mind. Fear of public speaking, fear of taking a risk in a business. It just stops you everything. So, second round, they said, you got to have a surgery. I said, yes. Let's do it. When? 2 months later, I'm booked in. Same surgeon, I'm actually happy. Why am I happy? Because I'm in control of the situation. When there are things that are out of your control, when they said to me, listen, you have to have a surgery, that's out of my control. Yeah. But from that step forward, I'm taking the control of the ship. Yeah. Okay, let's have a surgery. I picked the date. I picked my surgeons. Let's get in there and do it. I knew I'm going to have tight neck. I knew I might have, a collapsed lung afterward. I knew I might have fluid. I knew everything before I started. I was not surprised in any way. Man. I came out, laugh. I think I posted a few pictures coming out straight out of the emergency when I first woke up. I was so high. I could say that so legally because I was in hospital. I was so high on another planet. I couldn't care less. And I was happy, not because I was on drugs still. I was happy because, wow, I've realized no matter how intense the challenge is, if you're prepared, you will smash it. Yeah. It's not about the win. It's about how you personally have overcome that thought process, and that's the win. Yeah. If you beat that mindset, you've won. Yeah. That's your gold medal. No need to prove it to anyone else. Yeah. Who cares about anyone else? Yes, respect for everyone else and being humble, that's a very important part of life. But you've overcome that challenge, that hurdle. So here I am smiling, happy. 3 days later, ran away from hospital, went for a coffee to test caffeine on the heart. 4 days later, sorry, after tubes were taken out. Firstly released from hospital, I went and did a nice 5-kilometer jog down at Bondi.
Wow.
And, you know, they say if you don't document it, it's not true. So it's all documented. Now, doing those things, I started receiving messages from around the world. You're crazy. It started off with crazy. I was always called the crazy patient. Now, to put things into context, I'm not special. I'm not different than you or anyone else. But where I learned a little lesson is, protocol in heart surgery say you have to follow a proper rehab. For years and years and years, that protocol has been based on elderly people.
Yeah.
They don't take into account active people, younger people, etc. Everyone gets on the treadmill and they do 100 meters first when you get up.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of cardiologists out there, especially sports doctors, etc., they will push the envelope a little bit with you. And I was one of the lucky one that had someone who was willing to say, okay, let's do a kilometer, Shadi, see how you feel. Let's monitor the heart rate, let's keep an eye on it, you know, go at 6 kilometers an hour. Let's see how you go.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not a good runner, but I can run for long. So it's not about time for me, it's actually surviving at 10 kilometers. That is fabulous. That is so forth. So again, overcoming these things, being set, you basically have a laugh. How you overdo things, how you do things, how you complete things, we come back to the mental process again.
Yeah.
I truly believe, and you're very much big on this, Marcus, is your mind, power of the mind.
Yeah.
100%. If I wasn't that fit before, and also another message for to be passed on here. If you are going into surgery, remember, the fitter you are in life, the better your recovery is.
Yeah, right.
Because you actually get scaled before surgery. Do you smoke? Do you have diabetes? Are you overweight? Do you have high blood pressure? There's a whole list.
Yeah.
And basically, I didn't tick anything. So that's a bonus.
Yeah.
And that allows surgeon to operate with less headache on their mind, you know, taking into account your blood pressure, your diabetes, and many things that could interfere in the surgery. So being fit in life in general will allow you to be prepared for, God forbid, any major emergency surgery that is out there.
Let's talk about the mindset that you talked about. How do you train your mindset then? I mean, it's one thing we all know we can go to the gym and get fit, but how do you train your mind?
Exactly. Same way you come to the gym and you have a process in your mind. Today I'm going to improve my flexibility by doing 1, 2, 3, 4. I use the mind as an exercise. So many times, you know.
It's like a muscle.
It's 100% a muscle, but it's how you challenge your thought. Let's take an example. We live in a world of social media today, and a lot of people follow people that they do not like for the heck of it. It's a fact. This is a fact. This is a fact. Entertainment and
so
to
true.
see how much BS there's in there or so forth.
Yeah.
I used to be like that. I'm not going to lie. If I'm sitting in front of you and lying, I'm totally defeating the purpose why I'm here.
Yeah.
What I've learned from time, I'm not interested. Your negativity or how I feel about your life or about your post, the exercise in the mind, do something about it. Switch it off. Same as watching a channel you don't believe in, you change the channel. You cannot attach yourself to the mindset where it doesn't, it's not fruitful to your life. Follow things that inspire you. Follow people that can make a change in your life. Follow people that you do care about. When I use the word follow, it's funny, but we have to face reality. We live in a world of digital platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can totally isolate ourselves and say, look, I'm fasting from the phone for a month. You know? Who are we kidding?
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to come back on it and say, what I missed out on. This is how the world operates. Whether it's business, whether it's personal. You can't separate your personal life and what you do away from your inspiration or the message you want to send out. But you ask me, how do you overcome the mindset? Exercise it. You're scared of something? Go on and tackle it. Your dream is to go out there and cross the desert. you're never going to cross the desert thinking about it. It will never happen.
Yeah.
You got to register, you got to research it, and you got to train, and you have to go and do it. And it's as simple as that. Yes, there's a lot of hard work, a lot of preparation, a lot of pain, but you are not going to get to the finish line by you not taking all these challenges on the way. But you have to make the mindset challenge, I'm going to do it. So action speaks louder than words, as we know. It's a cliche, but true.
Really true. What will you do outside the gym? I think it's all great, you set goals and you go to the gym, but I think that a lot of people underestimate what can happen outside the gym, such as reading a book or listening to a podcast like this. Or
100%. Let's push the podcast. It's great. It's amazing. And it's reality. And this is choices you make. This is training the mind. Do I want to watch Netflix? Hey, I'm not going to lie. Of course I watch Netflix. Yeah. But I'm not on it every day of my life. It doesn't rule my life.
Good.
You have to be realistic. You have to be real. You cannot deprive yourself of what we have been given as, comforts in life. I love simplicity. I don't need to post what car I drive. I don't need to post where I live. I post things that make me happy. Yeah. But that's a choice I make. Some people post how many cups of coffee they had a day. It's everyone individuality to do things how they would like to do it. But coming back to your question is, it's at the end of the day, it's you are in control of everything you do. The message is you can control everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Mate, thinking about things that maybe you did before you had the first and second surgery, definitely, and hearing your story, one of the things that's come true or through is that you spend a lot more time in the gym, you take a lot better care of your body. Based on what you were just speaking about then, doing positive things, what other activities have you sort of identified that you do? Do you read more, or do you spend time in meditation? Is there any things that you can sort of flag up that you say, yeah, actually, before I sort of had this problem with my heart, I never used to watch such and such, but now I watch it. What are some of those things that you do? Because I think that might really help people.
Definitely. I think Andre hit it on. I exercise my mind more.
Right.
You know that little voice in your head where it challenges you. You challenge it back. Don't spend too much on your thoughts. Spend time on the action that you will do to resolve that thought process. You could be in talks with your mind forever. Nothing will happen. Right. So I've learned to actually take action in processes that I think about, whether it's a business idea, whether it's detaching from something or someone. I think what came out from all this is basically also the two things, acceptance and detachment. Yeah. Detachment from materialism and acceptance of where you are today. Andre, Marcus, Shadi, everyone listening to this, look around, stop for a second. Where am I in life today? Accept it. Yeah, we all have dreams. No one is knocking the dream away. No one is knocking the ambition away. Stop for a second. This is where I am today. I'm pleased. I'm making the most of it. What is my next step? Set it as a normal goal, Set the objectives in there. Try to reach that goal. How you do it is by taking immediate action. Right. The longer you delay on that thought process, and that's what I've learned. That's what I've basically started doing. Any thought process, tackle it immediately.
No New Year resolutions.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. There's a post, actually. It's a good one. There's a post I'll put up. Everybody can't wait for New Year's resolution. And they're planning in December. New Year's resolution. And
they're planning in the summer, man, already.
Yeah, New Year's resolution. Planning for the beach body. Summer's coming up this season. What's stopping you today? Yeah. Who are you kidding? Again, I don't want to knock everyone for themselves. And that's another thing. I learned respect. I respect people even more. I always have, but now I respect where people are in their position in life. Right. Everyone has their own journey. Everybody. Yeah. And we all have to walk it on our own. Yeah. I can try to inspire. I can try to give advice, but I do not understand your circumstances and factors that surround your life. So it might need to be approached in a different way. Yeah. Hopefully talking about this just allows people to stop for a second, see where they are in life. If they do have a dream, dreams will always be a dream until you want to make it work. Failure. We talk about failure a lot. And you hear the cliche, failure. look, I never go into a business or into anything in life anymore not prepared that failure could be one of the factors.
Really?
And if we are prepared that failure could come up, so easy to overcome it and move forward.
Yeah.
Acceptance. Hey, I've done businesses that I decided to park on the side. They didn't give me the satisfaction I need. So I concentrate my energy onto things where it could be more beneficial and gets me momentum. A lot of people spend a lot of time on, things that they decide they want to do, whether it's a gallery, whether it's, create a new phone, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And it fails and fails and fails and fails. Failure is great. Failure is part of anything in life. It's how you decide to change path or continue on the same path. I personally, my own advice is you give it as much possible time as possible. You set a time frame as well. If it doesn't succeed, you move on. Yeah. And that goes for everything. A relationship, that goes for a business,
absolutely.
That goes for trying to deadlift 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. You keep training. I don't have the liberty like a 22 years old. Okay, I might look 21, but no, I don't have that liberty. So I need to basically make choices that's going to satisfy me.
Yeah.
Don't compare. Comparison will eat you alive.
Yeah.
Will eat you alive. I'm going to be as ripped as XYZ. My goodness, I'm 44 years old. I've undergone 2 heart surgeries.
Yeah.
I don't need to be ripped and shredded. Hey, there's shortcuts. We all know it.
Yeah.
Has a risk on the body. I'm happy where I am. So, 2 heart surgery, my life totally changed. Am I happy? I cannot tell you. Super content. Do I face bad things throughout the days of my life? Of course I do. Yeah. We all do. But I could sit here and go, I've got so much on my mind. I've got to do this. I've got to deliver this. I've got to do this. It's not going to change anything. Yeah. I'll enjoy my time with you guys. I'll have a laugh. I'll go out here smiling. Yeah. And I'll tackle what I have to when the time comes.
Absolutely.
So these are my wonderful ideas that I like to give to people.
That's very
Try
cool,
it. Give it a go.
Yeah.
Don't knock it till you try it. Awesome. So, anyone listening, if you have an issue, it's very simple. Accept that you have that issue. I call it an issue and not a problem because everything can be resolved. Some might take longer than others, no matter how critical it is. We're using heart surgery as a benchmark here, taking the extreme.
Pretty good one.
So let's line up that as the umbrella and let's take it down under it. Some people could have other medical issues, family issue, relationship issue, financial issue, accommodation, down to the simplest thing, I need to bloody register my car.
Actually, I need to do mine.
There you go. You can't do anything about it now.
Absolutely.
So you have to plan, got to do it tomorrow, it'll get done.
Yeah.
The car might get rejected, it's this, that, what.
Worry
I'm
about
using example.
everything.
We'll take it there. If it needs something to be done, we'll get it done. I'm not using the approach, very Australian, she'll be right, mate. They use that attitude. It's not about that attitude. It's exercising the mind to tell yourself it can be done. A good person I look up to, and I know that sounds, some people don't like it, Bear Grylls. He's an amazing character. Yeah. If people do understand his concept, this guy broke his back. They told him you'll never be able to do anything again. 7 months later, 1 year, 7 months later, he's up Everest.
Yeah.
So,
he knows.
Again, it's a tangible. Yeah, it's not about his production and lie and everything is edited and scripted.
Yeah.
He has done something to prove to the world that things can be done. Yeah. And everyone listening, use those kind of people rather than just quotes and whatever to inspire your life. Look at things that can actually result in a good result. Physical, tangible.
Yeah. And that these people are human. They're no better than you.
They're the same.
We're all the same. It's how much we put in. Yeah. We all have different passions. Someone could be a wonderful artist, a great painter. Someone could be a great designer. Someone could be a great cook, and someone could be a great innovator or creator. Yeah. We have to respect all these spectrums and disciplines.
Yeah, absolutely. Mate, before we go, something that's very relevant, obviously your story is very relevant to our audience, but another thing is very relevant to our audience is a project that you've recently launched called Slick Chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
tell us, you've got 2 minutes before we have to wrap up the show. Tell us a little bit about Slick Chocolate, because I'm sure all of our listeners, A, love chocolate, and B, are in your target audience.
I feel like CNN, you got 30 seconds, wrap it up before the producer cuts us off.
It is almost like that.
Yeah, look, it's pretty easy.
I know you'll talk for days about it, that's all.
No, actually, wrap it up very easy. Slick is a product that is dairy-free, lacto-free, vegan, no preservative, no additive. It contains both creatine, BCAA, a specialty coffee from Brazil that is sustainable, Salt Association certified, and 62% Swiss dark chocolate. It's a lot of things in one little bar.
Isn't it?
The bar is functional. The bar does work. It's been sold out 3 times over so far through our production run.
Wow.
As I mentioned earlier, it's in South Africa now. So here we are, Dubai product, exporting to the world, which is something new.
That's very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very happy, actually, with the support, to be honest. It started off big time being supported by InnerFight initially and to the community, and it organically went through there. What's special about the product is we're pretty straightforward, transparent. We have no sweeteners, no flavors. We don't have BP like canned energy drink. By the way, we're not a protein bar. We're not a fitness bar. We're not an energy drink. We are simply a natural energy that assists you in your focus through the caffeine. 2 shots of espresso, 180 milligram of caffeine. It's not synthetic caffeine. So people have to realize when they buy anything that says caffeine on it, try to make sure, is that synthetic in a lab or that's actually real caffeine?
Right.
So we're giving you 100% real caffeine. We're giving you BCAA, 3-to-1 ratio, and we're giving you creatine monohydrate. So performance, recovery, focus is best. And guess what? It comes in a chocolate bar that tastes amazing.
Tastes pretty good.
It's really good.
Single shot or double shot?
I think, it's amazing. The 2X is outselling the 1X.
Really?
I think people want the bigger hit. And they've actually come up with a great idea. I shouldn't share it with people, but if you buy a 2X and you only eat half of it, you have another 1X bar.
So it's cheaper.
There you go. So we've given away the trick, and maybe that's why 2X. Thanks for the support for the community basically following it. I think what can be taken out of that inspirational is it shows us that in Dubai we can do things to export to the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not at all upset if anyone wants to copy, or if anybody wants assistance, please knock on my door. I'll be more than happy to help you in creating a product in Dubai to get it out there.
Absolutely.
It's really important for us. The health community is growing massively in Dubai.
Yeah, for sure.
And functional food is the next big thing happening.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell everyone, go for it. You need help. I'm there to help you.
Mate, inspirational story.
Thank you.
Great wrap up there. You managed to sell us Slick Chocolate in under 2 minutes, so that's good. But
was it? So I've got 10 seconds to go. Well, listen, I also want to say, no, it's all good.
Congratulations for your attitude, mate, for what you've been through. You've made it very light, and I know a lot of people are thinking, yeah, Shadi has dark days, but I also think you probably put it in a way that we can see how you sort of fight through those. So a massive inspiration to me for sure, and to all of our listeners, mate. And hopefully we'll get you on in another year, and there'll be no more broken sternums.
No more, that's for sure. That is for sure.
And we can continue to go with you on your journey. But, mate, we appreciate you taking the time and what you've done.
I appreciate your time, guys. Much appreciated.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Cheers.
lot.
Thanks, InnerFight.
Thanks a lot for tuning in to this episode of Podcast Folks, and I do hope you've enjoyed it. And a massive shout out to Shadi there. Some real, true, real life inspiration, that's for sure. If you want to give us a shout, winning at InnerFight.com is where you can find us. Until next time, take care.